I was pretty shocked to discover that up to 80% of black and ethnic minority men have experienced some form of racism on the gay scene. So is the LGBT community really racist?
Absolutely.
A lot of gay men, especially in the dating world, will only go for white guys.
There's a big divide between anybody who's of colour and the white gays.
It's an overarching theme across the whole community that's kind of like, there's a hierarchy of race.
For a community that is meant to be so loving and supporting of one another, we knock each other back.
The most visible place for this casual racism is on the online dating apps. My good friend Abdul has experienced this firsthand. I wanted to bring you here because I know there are differences between what you get online and what I get online.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Although I'm white, I'm Riyadh Caliph.
Yeah, people don't like that name. I know.
Some people are like, they think I'm proper Middle Eastern and they don't like it. They go, oh, hey, sand monkey, what's up?
Do you get that?
Excuse me? Yeah.
Sand monkey?
Sand monkey, yeah. Has someone ever turned you away because of your colour?
Oh my God, yeah.
Really?
Oh. You be right, you get the whole little through, you look at you like, oh, you're cute, come on, bubble. Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Sorry, not into black guys.
One thing is, you've had it done to you so much, but I know, like being your mate, that you have a very specific type.
Of course, we all have a type.
I want to have a look at this thing online. It's a list of the worst screenshots of Grindr. So this guy says, to the tune of head, shoulders, knees and toes. I can't believe I'm about to... Dumb and blind and deaf and gay, blacks, packies, gooks and nips, white only.
See,
imagine taking the time to compose that.
I don't even find that funny.
Read that.
No offense, but blacks, please block me. Do you know what I would do? Now, this is me being literally so childish, right? I would write to him. I think he's actually attractive, so I'll go, oh, okay, hi.
So you're gonna try and flip him?
Yeah. Okay, next person. Why were you such a lowlife nigger scumbag whore coward that blocked like a pouch monkey bitch? Oh.
Oh my God.
I would block that person.
You were willing to talk to the other guy earlier.
Yes, because he said, no offense, I'm not into black. So for me, that's a preference. He's not saying he doesn't like them. To my understanding, reading it, this doesn't like them, but no offense, I'm not interested. That's not what I'm here looking for.
What's the difference then?
So basically, this is definitely just prejudice and just racist. Like, blatantly racist, completely.
Okay. Would a guy like this ever say it to you in person?
In person, right, good question. Doubt it. The app is giving you that platform to do that. People who are racist can be more vocal on there. People who have preferences can actually say, hey, and there's a fine line between two.
I used to be shocked by the racism and the prejudice. And now it's a normal thing. Every second profile has some form of hatred, prejudice, or preference. It's like, I don't know. Anyway, come on.
Black man for white men only and white men for black cock only. They say that, like, they say it.
Yeah, I've been purely rejected on being an Indian guy, which is bizarre.
And it's overt casual racism, but it's okay because it's within the confines of our community, and I don't accept that.
This morning I've travelled up to Birmingham to meet this young gay Asian man called Manjinder. He's experienced his own level of racism within the gay community, and he's going to tell me exactly what that was like for him.
I was raised in Birmingham in a Sikh family. In Asian families, even before the child is conceived, the parents think about the life and the career and the marriage of their child. I had a lot of pressure to be straight. I never knew that you could be gay in South Asian. It just didn't cross my mind. I thought I was going to move to London, I was going to meet the man of my dreams straight away. Every profile I looked at kept saying the same thing. No femmes, no fats, no Asians, no blacks. And I just thought, oh my God, like the people who I thought would be accepting were blatantly saying that they're not interested. So I just thought, what will become of me?
Is this where you grew up?
This is my local area, yeah.
Is it?
It's very Asian.
It is, isn't it? Look at all the saris. It's very colourful. Yeah. What was it like growing up here?
It's very heterosexual, very heteronormative. I never ever saw anyone who was gay.
So what was it like being essentially the only gay in the village?
It was horrifying.
Really?
I felt like no one would understand. I felt like if I didn't break free and run away from here, I'd just be sucked into that lifestyle that was imagined for me before I was born.
So you did come out, what happened?
Yeah, I just thought, what's the point of being gay? I might as well be straight. And then it took me a lot of depression and suicidal sort of thoughts that made me SMS my parents. I just text them.
A text?
Yes. And they're immigrants and they don't even speak English. And my poor sister had to read it out and explain it to them. In the morning I woke up and I was going to work and I received all these text messages and emails, missed calls, and my sister wrote, don't worry, they love you and accept you as you are, it's okay.
What a beautiful moment.
And then my mum phoned, but the thing is their education was so less that they thought I was going to become a woman, they thought I was being transgender. Oh. Do you still have a penis? You know, are you going to wear saris now? All these questions, then they took me to the doctor. He was lovely. He said it's natural, you can't change it, it's fine.
Wow.
And this was a Sikh person telling my Sikh parents, wonderful. Then they took me to the local temple over there.
Why did they not take his guidance?
They still wanted to see if there was a chance, right? So they took me to the local Sikh temple. The main guy of that temple is very liberal-minded, and he said, God's created him like this, and you can't change him, and that's fine. And that gave my mum all the reassurance she needed. But they were afraid of what other people were going to say, and they even suggested that I have a sham marriage. They said that marry someone from India, a woman, and that basically pretend, have the baby, but still do your thing on the side. And I refused.
You then found yourself as a gay man out there in this big gay world. How did it greet you?
I used to be the only Asian person in the gay clubs in central London. I felt like an outsider. For the first time, I felt like, you know what, I'm different, you know? Growing up here, you can tell that, you know, I look like everyone else.
Different to what you expected then?
Yeah, I thought the gay community, because you've been marginalised already, you'll be more accepting to all people, but it wasn't like that. And then someone told me to go onto a dating app site. And I went on there and I searched. Every profile, one after the other, said muscular, masculine, straight acting, white guy, Sikh, similar, no femmes, no fats, no blacks, no Asians. Sorry, this is not my racism, it's just preference. Over and over again, I tallied them up. There was like thousands of them. And it just made me feel really, really unwanted and just like worthless. Just made me feel like I wasn't good enough at all. And that there was something wrong with me, something that I couldn't change, because obviously you can't change your skin colour. Just made me feel that life was pointless.
Manjinder has experienced firsthand rejection simply down to the colour of his skin from an anonymous but all the same very, very vocal online gay community. I mean, everyone knows this is going on, so why isn't it being called out? So I've just come across this guy online, Alexander. I'm about to speak to him. He's the author of a book called The True Confessions of a Potato Queen. Now, I don't know what that means. Does it mean he's in love with Irish guys, perhaps? I mean, I've heard of rice queens, curry queens, but a potato queen. Alexander!
Hello!
Lovely to meet you.
Lovely meeting you too. Boy, you are gorgeous.
Oh, thank you very much. Oh. But you know what, Alexander? That leads me on to my first question.
Yeah.
What's a potato queen?
A potato queen is actually a gay Asian male who will only date white guys. So that's me, and I'm a big one, actually.
What is it about white men in particular that you think is so incredible?
I believe that the white race is the superior one. And I love being with a white guy primarily because of that, and also because he's got a powerful big cock that I love. Once you go white, nothing else seems right.
Some people would call that a little bit racist.
No, it's not me. It's a preference, actually.
At what point does it turn from a preference to a prejudice? Is there a change point?
I would say a preference and a prejudice is actually a very thin line. It becomes a prejudice when you actually become rude to somebody.
What do you think about listing out the preferences on a dating app? Is that hurtful or is that helpful?
In my opinion, I think that's really helpful because you are just being honest. You know, like you can tell me what you really want and who you are and what your preferences are, and don't waste my time. A lot of times people consistently are being held back because they're afraid of other people's opinions. Well, listen up, guys. If that person does not feed you, if they do not fuck you or finance you, their opinions does not matter to you. What's wrong with you? Just live your life.
Alexander, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you.
Thank you. I feel exactly the same. Thank you for
You're a real character. Bye. Bye.
You're discounting a whole race of people based on the colour of their skin.
Sometimes it's passed off as preferences.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is my preference. But actually, if you're being offensive, then that's just wrong.
People who say, this is my preference, I'm sorry, but you're a victim of our society's racial prejudices.
Black man, big cock.
Oh, there's more to me than that, you know. You're black, so you're only good in bed, but you're not actually good to be in a relationship with. Black people have to be thugs or like big muscular men, and Asians are meant to be all loose and like feminine, all that kind of thing.
You were saying that, you know, you've got these stereotypes in your head.
Yeah.
To do with each different race.
Right.
You know, black men with the big willies and Asian men with little willies and being submissive and stuff. Do you guys just presume that you're going to have a massive dick?
I get asked that all the time.
So I just want to see, does it come from porn, these stereotypes? So the title is Tight Asian Boy Ho. So like the Asian guy is very, very skinny and you've got this like big, muscly, Adonis looking older white guy. He's putting it in.
Oh.
He is in pain. Aggressive. Someone's gonna go to hospital. Are they gonna flip?
If they flip, that's gonna be
No.
Oh, Zint.
Okay, I'm done with that one. Asian Twinkie getting fucked bareback style. So we have this Asian guy touching himself. Okay, and now this older white guy.
What did I say to you earlier on?
Yeah, it's always an older white guy and a younger Asian fella. Every single one, the Asian guy is the submissive.
Yeah.
What do you think a young gay is gonna get when they watch this for the first time?
But if you watch this, you think that is what it is. So Asians are supposed to be submissive. That's what you are brainwashed to believe.
Let's move on to your boys.
I'm scared.
That can't be
It
real.
is.
That's like a trunk off an elephant. So we've got this incredibly tall, superhuman man. He's black. Like every part of him is huge. His penis is inhuman.
So that makes me feel
What
shit.
is that?
That makes me feel shit, because I'm like, shit, I want to look like that now.
You want to look like that, or you think you're supposed to look like that?
When you watch these things over and over again at that time, it stays in your head. So over time, you have to live up to what you've watched. Yeah, that's
We
crazy.
are learning.
Oh, sex education all in one.
But this is the shit they don't teach you in school. There's no gay sex taught, but then also there's not the complexities taught of, oh, you know, these are the hurdles you're gonna have to jump over simply because you've got pigmentation in your skin. It's true that representations of racial stereotypes can be damaging, but what's the impact of finding no representation at all?
I grew up in Walthamstow, which is a town in North London. I came out as a lesbian aged 19. When I came out and I first went out on the scene, I'm not gonna lie, I was very scared. There wasn't really any lesbians that looked like me. I realised that not only did I have to focus on my race, but I also had to look after my sexuality as well. As a black lesbian woman, I do feel like I am a triple minority.
Casual racism on the gay scene is very obvious and it favours being a gay white male. but I want to know if the same is felt within the lesbian community.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Come
How you
in.
doing? Thanks for having me. From an outsider's perspective, it might look like the LGBT community is super inclusive, it's super liberal. Would you agree or disagree with that?
It's inclusive to a point. So I got out there and I was like, oh, lesbians. Like, oh my God, lesbians.
A kid in the playground.
Exactly, it's like some sort of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Lesbians, lesbians, lesbians. And I was like, oh my God, they're all like so beautiful, blah, blah, okay. Try and act normal, try and act like a lesbian. Dancing and whatever, da, da, da. And you know, you don't realise it at first, but then afterwards when you go out a lot and then you can see the segregation. As soon as you walk in, like, if you look on one side and you see, I don't know, a group of black lesbians being there, and then you go onto another side and you know, you see mixed group of lesbians, and then another side you see a white group of lesbians, and then you've got like other lesbians on the side, you know, the Jessie J lesbians, and the waistcoat lesbians, and then they're like there as well.
What's a waistcoat lesbian?
A waistcoat lesbian is a lesbian who wears a waistcoat.
Oh, that makes sense, yeah. Why would you call them, like, more butch?
Oh, yeah. But most lesbian kind of things are more leaning towards, I don't know, normal white women. I came out at 19, there was no, like, whatsoever black lesbian woman I could look at and be like, yeah, like, she's on TV, I want to be like her. You know, you look to people who you can, I don't know, relate to. And I think, personally for me, until I went to uni or was in secondary school, I didn't realise about the fact that, you know, there isn't a representation of race for certain things. And one of them definitely is like the representation of a black lesbian.
With no role models to look up to, I was intrigued to see how Sherelle's identity developed. Jeez, it's so steep.
I know,
it's
I'm sorry.
Like
Got our friends that we sleep with.
Oh, I was like looking around for a couple of other lesbians. I didn't know you were talking about me.
These are my lesbians.
Oh, they're very cute. How does your race affect how you dress?
Unfortunately, with being black, there is some sort of hyper sensitivity around us. Like, I don't want to come across too, you know, kind of unapproachable.
Can I have a little look inside your wardrobe?
Yeah, so this, I used to wear this a lot and I brought it back recently.
What does it say?
Jackson's tour 1984.
I might try this on, is that okay?
Yeah, you can, of course. Trying on my jacket.
I really love bomber jackets and it's got
cute.
shiny stuff on it.
That's one of my favourites. I used to wear that a lot. It's cute on you.
I think it really goes.
It's really cute.
Look at
oh, you look lovely.
Do you know what's really funny? Like looking in your wardrobe. It really looks like my wardrobe.
I bet it does.
Is there like a bit of crossover here between white gay and black lesbian?
Do you know what? Doesn't surprise me.
I've got like 5 of these.
Oh yeah. That's not even all of them, hun, honestly.
I've got one, I think, exactly with this.
Yeah, people look at me and they go, oh, boy or girl, boy or girl, boy or girl, girl.
Would you say the image of a lesbian that you were kind of modelling yourself on was more a white lesbian woman?
Yeah, of course. I had really, really straightened hair. I had medium length hair with a fringe. Then I cut this part aspect off. And
I
then
would love to see pictures of that.
Oh, of course. I've got a whole evolution. This is the archetypal straight hair Sherelle.
Kind of One Direction.
Yeah, don't.
I'm sorry, Union J. Much better. I think you look cute.
Yeah, it is cute, but it wasn't me.
It wasn't you, no.
Yeah.
Why did you feel the need to straighten your hair?
It was one of those hairstyles that could make me more approachable because a white lesbian over there had it. My fashion sense was literally bouncing in and out between being like from gay men all the way to like a butch lesbian black woman. Like the masculinity kind of brings me back into normality.
But then you shaved it all off. The moment that you put the razor down and it was all gone, how did you feel?
Like it was the best thing I've ever done. I had got rid of this person that wasn't me, who was making me very, very sad. It's a very strong thing from a black woman's perspective to have no hair because it's like, this is me.
I wanted to find out about Sherelle's experience of being in a relationship with her white girlfriend. So how long have you two been dating?
For 2 years.
In lesbian years, that's a week, isn't it?
Well, yes.
Do you often walk holding hands like this?
I'm always worried about holding hands. We live near Peckham, and I think sometimes I always get worried about holding a hand in Peckham because obviously it's quite a large black community and I don't want to offend them.
When you started your relationship, it's an interracial relationship, were there things that started to happen that you didn't expect would happen?
Some people don't agree with interracial relationships in the first place. Some people don't agree with us being gay. We do get a lot of comments based on how we look together. Oh my God, you guys are so cute together and stuff like that almost. Yeah.
Cute interracial couple.
We had that
they
before.
say it like that?
Yeah, they do. We've had someone that's
You're
just
the
been...
cutest interracial couple I've ever seen or something like that. And we're like,
Instead
thanks.
of, we're just a cute couple.
Yeah. Interracial couples do go through the fact that people are constantly judging them based on race, based on sexuality, based on how they dress, what they pass for. It's just bizarre.
Will it ever change? Will it get better?
Yeah, I think it will definitely get better just with time, with, you know, people breaking down those barriers of, you know, what it means to be, I don't know, a black lesbian or what it means to be in an interracial relationship.
So for people of colour in the LGBT community, it's representation that's the issue. And that could mean anything from the negative stereotypes that appear in porn to how they're overlooked and absent in the media.
What we need is black role models, black gay role models.
I think I picked up Diva magazine once, and I probably saw about 3 black people in the whole magazine.
Where's the sexy Asian man? Like, that's what I need to start seeing, that's what I want to see. Because I don't feel like I'm represented in mainstream media, and I definitely am not represented in LGBT media.
So I've come to lovely Camden to meet a lady called Sadie. She runs a black and ethnic minority cabaret night called Cocoa Butter. And it's gonna be interesting for me to be the minority at a club night for the first time. I'm excited. I am in love with this place already. I just walked in and there's a pile of glitter that's been swept up. It can only mean fun. My kind of place. Wow. Are you Sadie?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Riyadh. Why are BAME nights so important?
They allow us to see each other. And because we're so few and far between in the gay community, when we have these spaces, they feel very safe. They feel like home. And I'm really hoping tonight you will see firsthand how the Cocoa Butter Club, it's a movement, it's a church, it's a religion.
I love it.
Because we're celebrating ourselves, and that's what you should do.
What kind of stuff am I going to see here tonight that I wouldn't see in a mainstream cabaret night then?
Some unapologetic black performances, unapologetic Asian performances where we're not concerned about biting our tongues so that we don't offend.
So I might be a little bit offended, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it might just be a bit like, what? Why was that like that?
You're gonna go, yo, vanilla face. Yo, snowflake.
It's just that, like, there might be some home truths which you might not be aware of and may definitely not have been ready to hear. Full stop. Yeah.
Okay, we'll leave it there. I don't want to ruin it for myself. I am ready for this. I'm ready. Are you gonna get like all glammed up now?
Oh, you wait.
I wanted to start the show with everyone just having a good old laugh. Like, give me a good old giggle, because life is tough. Trust me. I'm black, I'm a woman, and I'm queer. I really know. Like, life is tough. Life is really hard. Okay?
Hello, my darling. Does anybody in this room know what is an auntie? You know what is an auntie?
African auntie, my mom's friend, my mom's cousin.
An auntie is a woman who is over 40 and is willing to beat a child.
jump up on stage that easily.
I just love dancing, and the energy of the evening was so beautiful. I just wanted to feel it through. People were unapologetic about their performances and just super uninhibited and just really owning their identities fully and completely. Just like gave me so much like courage to just like feel really good tonight and just like actually be a part of it.
Have you ever experienced racism yourself?
Definitely, yes.
In what sense?
I think that there's a weird sense of like, yeah, racial hierarchy that comes from beauty standards that are defined by Eurocentrism, and like that I think I've personally experienced.
What can we do as a community to kind of stamp out or try and lessen that everyday racism that seems to exist?
We need to like start actively having conversations about why things are the way they are, and like understanding that there is no like shame on the individual level, but it's just this like collective historical dynamic that needs to be talked about and addressed. And I think that this night is just like a perfect example of those things happening in a way that's like fresh and free and like open.
Do you think I'm welcome?
You are if you're not racist, yeah.
Great! I don't think I am. Yay! Love for everyone!
My brain running from the pain, hit the calm down game, so what? I do the same, cause
Through this entire process, I've met some incredible people who have all experienced some form of racism from within the LGBT community, adding another layer of separation in a community that should be coming together with a common goal of acceptance and equality. Change is absolutely possible, but it's got to start with all of us.